Hej og velkommen til Data i Sport. Jeg er Christoffer, og jeg er din vært på denne podcast. I dag er jeg super glad for at have Pontus Nyberg med. Han arbejder som videoanalytiker hos det norske ishockeyforbund. I denne episode skal vi tale om, hvordan han bruger data og analyse til at støtte det norske landshold og sikre, at både spillerne og holdet som helhed er optimalt forberedt til deres kampe. Og grunden til, at jeg snakker med Pontus, det er, at jeg synes, det vil være super interessant at høre de andre i vores gruppe til VM, hvordan de anvender data og indsigter til deres landshold. Fordi de ligesom vores landshold skal jo konkurrere mod de allerbedste, og måske kan ved hjælp af data få en overhånd i nogle af kampene ved det kommende VM. For at vi alle kan forstå vores samtale, så slår jeg nu lige over i engelsk og byder Pontus velkommen. Lad os komme i gang. Pontus, welcome to Data in Sport.
Thanks for that.
What should we know about you?
What will I say? I'm 40 years old, come from Sweden, live in Växjö with my wife and 2 kids. I work with hockey for the last 20 years. I have hockey as my full-time job for at least 13 years. This season I was head coach in Alvesta, Division 1 here in Sweden, and also video coach for Team Norway. I added work as video coach for, I think it's 9 years now. So.
Yeah, okay, nice. But how and why did you end up as a video analyst for the Norwegian Ice Hockey Federation?
It starts when I started as a video coach. For 6 years I worked for the Swedish Federation, but with main focus on the junior national teams like under 18 and under 20, like that. Have a good time there and mention up to win 2 gold medals in under 18 World Championships. I work with Magnus Havelid. He's still in under 20s now. So, but when Tobias Johansson was new head coach for Team Norway, he asked if we're gonna switch Sweden to Norway and work as a video coach for Team Norway. So I think it was a great challenge and a step in my career to join them and as well being a part of the men's world championship. So this season, I think it's the 3rd world championship together. So we will be interested to go into Denmark.
Yeah, exactly. And did you play ice hockey yourself, or have you always just done the coaching side?
I play hockey when I was, I think it's 15 or 16, but I was injured, as everybody says, if you're injured, or else maybe I play NHL, but I started coaching earlier and still love hockey when I was injured, so I take the chance and being coach instead.
Yeah, okay. And as we know in this podcast, it's all about, data. So let's go into the data part of it. So can you explain what types of data you collect and how you structured it to make it more useful or useful for you?
Okay. Yes, we have chosen different formats which we collect and base our data on. We selected the different formats because we want to track them during live under the game, ongoing tournament as a full season, of course. We also believe that we will have a better chance to win games if the numbers in the selected categories is good, and we call the categories game-winning factors.
Okay.
So we selected in the game-winning factors. We have, for example, we have the face-off in the both defensive and offensive zone, scoring chances, and you have categorized them in A, B, and C, blocked shots. We follow, of course, special teams, power play and box play. So we have what we think is important for us to have good numbers to get better chance to win the games. As mentioned, we tracked and analyzed the data during the selection of the game as summer for the fall tournaments, during even in the longer tournaments like the World Championship. We also track the forwards line and D pairs to see how they work together, so we're able to optimize the pairing in the rosters. for example, we track and analyze expected goals for and against for the lines. We have a look in if you're on the ice and you have a scoring chance. If you're on the ice when the opponents have a scoring chance, you can see some numbers.
Okay, nice. It's super interesting that you, of course, collect different metrics. And what tools, technologies do you use to get those data?
We have Insta Huddle that you get some results after the games, and we also have sports contract. And during the game, you use Dartfish live tagging the game, so you can see situation directly after the game. So you have that. But because after a game you get a feeling, we call it the eye test. You have a feeling about the game, and you're thinking, oh, it was a good game, it was a bad game. But you need to see in the data if you you have a feeling when you be on the bench, okay, oh, that was a bad game. But when you underlying data says, oh, that was a good game, correctly more the feelings, and it's easy to give more concrete feedback to the players or the coaches. You're not going just on the feeling. You have the data, so you can.
Yeah. Okay. And your workflow as a video coach. You say you have these technologies that you of course get the data out. So how does your workflow look like?
Under the game, you live tag. You have Dartfish, you get the TV signal to the computer, and then you have a table that you decide before what you're gonna look at, the shooting, scoring chances, and everything we have talked about before. So you do it live under the game, and after the game you go through the game and look at the clips. But of course you look at the data, you put out the game beginning factors. If you see something that stands out, can go into more details on the selected parameters. You can even go back a couple of games and see if you can see some pattern on it. It's just this game, or have we see it as ongoing, or you can see the pattern in just that category. If you have to change something, how we play or prefer.
Okay, super interesting. So if we kind of separate it into the preparation during the match and then after the match. So in the preparation, can you explain how data is used in the preparation for the team?
Yes, like I said before, the data is using to correct and confirm the way we are playing. It gives us information that we need to do anything on the right way, and what instruction we have to give our players. We always show our player video before every practice. What we're going to practice on. So we want to look like this, or we have to do something extra because of the opponents play like this. So you can show them clips from our own games and so on. So
okay. And when you say show them clips, is that the primary, I would say, use of data is showing them video clips of what is you want them to do essentially?
It's both. You have a playbook. You're going to play like this, and you show clips from that and some corrections. Oh, that was not good enough the last game, and this is going to be important in the next game. You also have the game winner factors. Then you get some numbers on that. Then you're going to try to show the numbers in video clips for the players too, so that it's easier to understand. Okay, it's all this number. Okay, it means this is a game situation. Show them, but easier way to show them what we mean with the numbers. It's easier if you just get the numbers. Maybe it's tough to understand. Okay, what it means for me in a game situation. So we try to combination this so we can also show what we mean.
exactly. I had an interview some weeks ago with dykker, where essentially he's also said that use of video helped him when explaining how he should pass in a specific situation. So instead of them during the break, during the period, he just was shown a video saying, "Hey, you are here by the post, but you need to pass here because then the chances of creating a larger chance or a bigger chance is much higher if you just pass it there."
Exactly.
But you say again, you're a video coach, but how much overlap is there between this data and video analysis in your preparation?
I think it's a big overlapping because, as I say, you want to show the numbers in video, so you help them together. Sometimes you have to show the numbers, and sometimes you have to use the videos, but it's easier in the combination these two. So I think it's a combination of the both.
And as we touched upon it, I think you said there was some specific metrics that were critical for how you do your decision making.
Yes, we have some milestones and indications when we track and follow live on the game, so we see it. Also, something you have to do something or you're on the right way. One example that we have in our game in the fact that we want to win more than 50% of the face-off in offensive zone, and then you can see it's 5 minutes left. You can tell the bench that centerman is the best face-offs in offensive zone. This center is the best in face-off in defensive zone, so you have a bigger chance to win the important face-off in the end of the game. So we follow that live under the game.
Okay. And maybe a stupid question. Of course, by winning a face-off in the offensive zone gives you, of course, a higher degree of creating a shot on goal and chances and so forth, right?
Yeah, and the offensive zone time, you have it's a big difference when you start play with a puck or you start hunting the puck. It's a big difference between if you win or lose. If you look at the power play or box play, it's a big difference. If you win a power play face-off, you start with a puck. If you lose, it's maybe a loss of 20-30 seconds because they send the puck to your end and you have to start over again. So this is I think it's really important to win the face-offs.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Of course it is. It makes total sense. And now that we talk about during the game, it sounds to me that you have live data during the game. And how do you then make that actionable insights for the coaching staff and the players during the match?
Yeah. I follow. We have a system that follow, of course, the game and see what happens. And if I see some difference, we always go back to the game in the factors. If I see something, okay, they're not good. That not look good, or this is good. We have to do something adjustments. I can tell the coaches live. We have direct contact with the bench during the game, so we can give them some information live. If you see something directly, you can give the information down to the bench, and then they can, if they think this is important, they're gonna tell the players too. So if this is a bigger adjustment, I always try to have a ready video clips ready to show the player and the coaches in the period break, so you can see it directly. If you're in the locker room, you always you can show it.
Yeah.
Show the players.
And what do you then show them, or not show them, but what is like your top 3 success metrics on ice?
I think scoring chances is a big one, and of course face-off. We already talked about that, but we also look at odd man rushes. This is where you clearly 2-on-1, 3-on-2, 4-on-3. So I think there's these 3.
Yeah. And is that follow-up question on that? Does these top three metrics change per opponent? So if you're, for example, meeting the US team, does that change compared to when you're meeting, for example, the Danish team?
Yeah, this is different because of the difference how they're gonna play. Some teams play on rush, or some players are more structured. So of course there's change. And before every game, you look at least 3 or 4 games. If you're gonna meet the US, you have to see 3 or 4 games with them. How we're gonna play, how they're structured, how these numbers are, so you can prefer the team and the coach staff for what's going to happen on the game. So
makes sense. Makes total sense. And after the post-game reflections, how do use data in that sense?
I come back to the feeling and eye test. You have a feeling of the games, but without them, I'm able to get more fair and objective picture of how the game produces, and through this we are able to more concrete decision based on data and not only on the feeling.
Well, that I know from my work is that, of course, people have a lot of gut feelings of how you played or how it went. So data can of course back that gut feeling or maybe give another perspective. And a perspective is of course the players. We are different. Every person is different. So how do you present data to all these different players that's easy for them to understand and then also hopefully act upon?
Of course, the players is different there, but in this discussion with the players, the video clip is my most important tool. That makes it more clear for the players to understand what we want to show, what the numbers stand for, so they can understand the numbers easily when you see it in clips. So I would say video clips is most important.
Yeah. And how do players generally respond to data?
I think it's a big difference now. I think I started as a video coach about 9 years ago. The players never see themselves in a video clips or something. Now they always want, and they are now more on demand. They want to have that after the game. If you are late, sometimes they're going to ask you, where is the clips, where is the statistics? So it's a big difference now about when I start.
Yeah, oh, that's nice. Well, at least for me, of course, as a data nerd. And I know that it's not to pinpoint at anyone, but are some players more, like, as you say in company language, data-driven than others?
I think there's a big difference between the players. Some are extremely interested and they want to see as much as possible, both clips and data, everything like that. And some of them are just happy to get the general feedback they will present for the team, and it's satisfied with that. But I think it's more often is the younger players is most interested of data and video, want to see more. We have 2 players like Noah Sten and Petter Westheim are interesting.
Okay. And if we take, the helicopter perspective here in the end of data usage, how do you see the development of data usage on the national team level as you see it?
I believe it will be more and more involved in the national teams in the future. I think also will play a bigger role in selection of which player you're going to choose to the national team. You see the data, you see the numbers for the players. I think it's going to be a bigger role of that. Then we go back to take the decision of data and not on the feeling.
And we know we live in in a world where technologies and trends are moving fast. So do you see anything, in relation to your work that's gonna maybe not revolutionize, but at least maybe enhance it?
I think it's going to be a lot of difference. We have AI, for example. I think the development will be more and more, and I think every year you get something new. So I think it's tough to say exactly what it's going to be, but I think development is going to be quick.
Yeah, it really is gonna be. We see like an exponential growth in, as you say, in AI. At least it's everywhere. So, last question is the vision of the role of data into how the national team operates over the coming period. Let's say a couple of years. What do you see there?
Tough question, but I think it will be a more central role when we look at the players, how we work for a play, what we're going to play, and I think more decision will be based on data in the future. You have a lot of numbers now, and you can see more. If you can collect that, but in a good way, you can take better decisions.
On that note, Pontus, thank you very much for sharing your insights. It was super fascinating to hear how data and video analysis is used at the Norwegian national team. I really appreciate you taking the time to share your knowledge.
Thank you.
Og til jer derude, jeg håber, at det gav indsigt i, hvordan andre ishockeyorganisationer udnytter potentialet ved data og videoanalyse. Vi lyttes ved.